Hi, my name is Josiah Kilby. Today, I'm going to be cooking for you. I'm going to be making a chicken and steak Caesar salad. I am an enrolled student for the Music and Production Bachelor's in Science degree program at Full Sail University, and I hope that you enjoy this video. All right, today, like I said, we're going to be making a chicken and Caesar salad. I'm going to start with the steak in this one and the chicken in this one. We're going to prep everything, and yeah, good to go.
All right, so as you can see, we're prepping all the vegetables. Right now, cutting the cucumber doesn't take too much. You just cutting it slow and slow. Make sure that the slices are nice and even. And yeah, we're prepping to get everything ready. Stay tuned. Now is a continuation of prepping these cucumbers. I'm going to be slicing them into halves so that they fit easier on the salad. As we're cutting them, we are making sure that it's a nice even half and everything looks perfect. Now we're going to place all of our cucumber slices inside of a bowl so that we can store it for later. Now we got our lettuce. We're smashing the head in so that it's easier to cut it. We got it prepping, cutting it into fours right now, and then we'll be dicing it up. Nice and easy. As we're dicing, we are separating the bigger parts from the smaller parts and continuing to slice them until it gets into a nice diced motion. Keep staying tuned as we continue on in this cooking journey. Although it does look a little bit messy now, it'll look a lot better when we get everything prepped and ready and put into the bowl, which we will be doing now. All right, stay tuned as we continue on this cooking process. Now we're getting into prepping our Brussels sprouts. I love me some Brussels sprouts. They're so good, especially when you cook them right. Now, Brussels sprouts, everybody has a different opinion on how they should be cooked, but I personally like mine with a little bit of a broil, soft, but still crunchy. That's how I prefer my Brussels sprouts, and I will show you in this video how I do it. The marinade that I'm going to be using is a steak pineapple marinade. It's super savory, very sweet, and I think that it's perfect. So stay tuned as I start cooking these Brussels sprouts. Is the first thing that's going to be put onto the pan and fried. As the Brussels sprouts are on the pan frying on low heat, I will be prepping my broccoli for the second pan. Broccoli is super easy to prep personally. You just kind of cutting off the trees. I personally like to keep the stalks. Some people don't like the stalks, but I'm just cutting these up nice and neat and getting them ready for the pan. So stay tuned as we continue on in this cooking process. Now that we have the broccoli all grouped together, we're going to come back and see how our Brussels sprouts are cooking. They seem to be cooking very well. They look nice. Got a nice little simmer going with the sauce, the marinade. Going to be marinating the broccoli now with a little bit of creamy balsamic. Adds that zing, that tangy and salty mixture. Love that. Now we're just stirring around our Brussels sprouts, making sure that the heat is presenting itself equally. And yes, stay tuned as we continue on this cooking process. Now we got our broccoli cooking nice and ready. A good simmer. Heat distribution is perfect. We got both pans on a little bit higher so that the distribution is a little bit more significant and goes around. Pretty much now we're just waiting. Now our Brussels sprouts are complete. We're putting them into a bowl and setting them off to the side, as well as our broccoli, which is also finished. And we're going to be putting that into a bowl and putting it off to the side as well. And now for the fun part, cooking the meat. The chicken is up first. We got our chicken cubes. We're going to be cutting them nice and neat, nice and even. And yes, all right, so stay tuned as we continue. as the chicken is getting cut, we're going to be putting the individual sliced pieces into the pan so that it can be ready to be cooked. This is going to be a delicious part of the meal. There's going to be plenty of seasoning to be able to really enhance those juices and be able to make a good finished product of the chicken. Now, as we are continuing to cut the chicken, I just want to make note that there's no specific way for it to be properly cooked for you to cut it. It's nice to have nice thinner slices, smaller slices, so that as the heat rises and it gets bigger, that you're able to cook more of the chicken on all sides to make sure that, nothing is undercooked, nothing is overcooked, everything is distributed properly. Now we're going to put some seasoning. I have a seafood rub seasoning that I'm putting, as well as butter garlic to kind of give it that zest, plus a little bit of that cream. It's really good. Some hot sauce. I love hot sauce. I put hot sauce on everything. Now we're giving it a good little mix around, and we're just making sure that all the seasoning is all over the chicken, so that as it's cooking, the seasoning is searing into the chicken itself, making for a very savory, tasty resemblance. Stay tuned. Now we are opening our peppers. We're getting our peppers out so that we can cook them alongside of the chicken. Nice even slices. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be crazy. It's also not minced. I don't have a specific way to teach someone how to cook and cut peppers properly. I just like it this specific way. This is how I do it every time that I cook peppers. Little thicker than knuckle to knuckle. That's pretty much what I go for. Now we have all of our peppers cut, and we're going to be placing them into the pan with the chicken so that we can cook it alongside each other. This sauce that I'm adding is a cream of lime sauce. I really like the tangy and salty texture of it. So that's what I'm going to be using as my base, sort of like a marinade in oil to keep everything from getting too dry or overcooking. That's pretty much what I'm using it for. So yes, stay tuned and we will continue.
All right, we're back upstairs. We're about to get everything ready for the grill.
Here we have our cutting board out again. We're going to be placing our steak down, some tin foil. We're going to be wrapping the tin foil up nice and neat so that we can set it down on the grill. We are upstairs at the grill so that we can cook the second portion of our meal. And yes, so watch as this meal gets prepped and cooked, seasoned, and ready to go. Now we're just adding our seasoning. I have a seasoning called the blend. It's just basically a mixture of salts, peppers, garlics, and just a bunch of really nice savory options. That other one was a lemon pepper, which is also super salty, savory, gives it a nice taste for the meat. And this is me presenting from each angle on what the meat's going to look like as it is cooking. So stay tuned as our meat cooks. Alright, here we are prepping our steak bites that will be going on the salad. We're going to get it all out. It's still a little bit frozen, so we're going to cut it up and prep that. Get some seasoning on it as well and get it all ready for the grill. So stay tuned, stay tight. As you see, I've got my tin foil out again. I'm going to be wrapping it up on the edges, making a little bit of a wall so that it has, so I have a little bit of leverage on picking it up off of the grill. That's kind of what I do that for. So each frame is showing me putting up a side and getting it prepped for the steak bites themselves. For the steak bites, obviously, they cook a little bit bigger. They're a little thinner than the steak itself. And so frequently being able to pay attention to and to flip them around as it's cooking is vital and important, not to overcook and also not to undercook. So yes, so these are the 4 sides of my tinfoil that I'm going to be putting my steak bites into. So give me one moment as I get the steak bites ready, and then we will continue. Alrighty, now my steak bites are all on here. I'm going to be bringing them over to the grill right now. As you see, the steak on the other side is actually starting to cook. It's looking really nice. Still needs some time, and it's still got a little bit to go. But here is my steak bites and my steak right next to each other, and I will be showing you the seasoning. On this, I put spicy ranch and a little bit more of that garlic and herb. I love that combination. It tastes very good. We're almost halfway done with our steaks. Stay tuned and we will continue. We're working on our steak bites right here. And yeah. Alright, we have the entire meal spanned out completely. We got the broccoli, cucumbers, Brussels sprouts, chicken, peppers, salad, steak bites, and the steak that we've created in this video. And now we're going to mix it all together in one final plate and enjoy it. Alrighty. Folks, you watched the entire video. You saw us from start to finish create this beautiful masterpiece. Now we're gonna try it out and see how it tastes. Nice and juicy, tender, so much savory and flavor in this. I give it a 10 out of 10. Thank you again for watching. A plus or a subscribe would be great. If not, just share the video and hope someone else sees it. You guys have a great day.